Hello and welcome to day 12 of lockdown boot camp. Hope you're all still surviving. We're coming to the end of week 2. So just to move on from what we spoke about yesterday was that I said we'd speak a little bit about mental health. I know in these times we all must be suffering, eh? We're stuck inside, we're kind of things like claustrophobia must be setting in, and we have this idea of being caged and in confined spaces and stuff like that. We've been told what to do, which is always goes against kind of like human behavior or human desire or want. We've in some ways lost our liberties in a lot of ways. We can't do this, we can't do that, we can't go out, we can't see friends, we can't see family. And boredom, repetition, all of those type of things really kick in, and these do affect our mental health. Also, if we can find a small space with our family, that can really affect our mental health in a big way. And suddenly kind of like we're realizing that maybe the teacher wasn't wrong, maybe our kids are need some attention. Okay, so there's different types of mental health. Okay, so obviously depression, if you are prone to it or you suffer from it, you have to be very careful about these times. It's a kind of negative feelings, kind of like nothing's going right and hopelessness. We all know what depression is. I don't have to start listing them. Other types are anxiety. Okay, anxiety is generally the tendency to try and control the outcome or control the future, and putting too much emphasis on exactly how things are meant to be. And when doing that, we come completely out of our flow. We completely out of our natural process, of way things were meant to be. It leads to worry, restlessness, sleep issues, sleep problems. So again, it's about getting back in touch with ourselves and understanding ourselves. Other types of mental health issues would be stress. Stress is considered a mental health issue, and we spoke a little bit about stress previous in terms of linking emotions to organs as such. Stress is obviously really related to the kidneys, because kidneys release a stress hormone cortisol, which can flood the body, and kind of like that depletes the immune system beyond belief. Your immune barriers are down, and you're susceptible to so many problems, like a virus, for example. Stress can lead to blockage. It can lead to kind of like, again, pain. It can lead to inflammation, loss of drive and life, sex drive, and kind of like just vitality just goes out the window. Other issues are considered kind of like in and around mental health issues will be anger. Again, depletes the immune system, because anger raises our body temperature, and when we raise our body temperature, we destroy our nutrients. We eat our nutrients up, as opposed to being used for good and healthy and proper purposes. So kind of like to help with mental health, okay, what has nutrition got to do with mental health? Well, it's theory put together by quite a lot of people, that we don't just have one brain, we have two, and some people will even tell you three. Now obviously our first brain, most of us would assume, is our brain itself in our head up here. Our second brain is our food, or sort of where we put our food, and that's into our stomach, our digestive system. And some people will tell you our third brain is our heart, and if we can live from our heart, we will live in love, and if we live in love, we don't have many problems in this world. We really have found peace. So what I really want to talk about is what is considered your second brain, and that is your digestive system, your stomach. The nutrients that you put in, what you feed in here, will dictate what goes on up here. What goes on in here dictates your emotions. The emotions are then processed in the brain, which will tell you or decide or dictate an awful lot about what you decide to eat. So it's a very closed circuit. What you put in, you get out. You are what you eat is one of the oldest sayings around food, around life, that there is. So kind of like, if we feed ourselves with organic fruit and veg, organic chicken, we are telling ourselves that we have an awful lot of love and respect for ourselves, and we want the very best for ourselves. So immediately that picks up our emotions, which are, again, as I said, processed in the brain, and the brain is feeling good. So the brain will tell you, you know what, eating salads, eating organic chicken, eating organic seasonal fruit from a local source will help with our mental moods. It definitely will. Okay, so just foods of what we can look at for quickly. I have a huge paper wrote on mental health, the dietary issues around mental health and stuff like that. If anybody wants to get in contact, it will just cost you a few shiny pennies. But the most important thing, obviously, with mental health issues is a positive attitude, how you speak to yourself, your outlook on the world, kind of looking for the good and everything. I know that can be very, very difficult, especially in times like this, during quarantine, when we're just looking at four walls all the time and the same faces all the time, when just not getting out. But a positive attitude is key. It's very, 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 very important. It's key. So talk positively to yourself. Now, when it comes to your mental health, your brain is actually 73% water. So dehydration is a huge issue around mental health. So water, 2 to 3 liters of good quality filtered water every day. Some good news for mental health issues. One of the best foods you can take is dark chocolate. Now it's got to be dark. Now watch the shop store shelf laden brands of chocolate. I'm not going to slate any chocolate in case I get sued, but some really, really, really aren't very good. Ingredient reading or ingredient lists has to become somewhat of a checklist on your shopping. So watch to kind of make sure that kind of first ingredient isn't sugar, followed by dehydrated milk powders, followed by milks, and followed by more sugars and corn fructose and corn syrup and fructose and stuff like that, and then a tiny percentage of cocoa. But dark chocolate is wonderful. Okay, fresh fish, not tin fish. Nuts and seeds. Again, fish, nuts and seeds are full of omega fatty 3 acids, which are very, very good and help you regulate mood and stuff like that. Beans are full of protein and fiber is key. Elimination is key. Getting rid of the waste, getting rid of the rubbish, getting rid of the crap. Okay. Poultry, turkey, chicken contains a protein building block called tryptophan, which helps the conversion into serotonin, which is basically our happy hormone. And serotonin helps with balancing moods, regulating sleep, and it generally leads to a happier, healthier person. Eggs, very good. And egg yolk is a very good source of vitamin D. Now, tomorrow I will return to immune boosting properties of foods or solutions. And vitamin D is one of the key things, okay? And vitamin D is our sunshine vitamin. We get it from the sunshine. So the idea that we are locked up inside doesn't make much sense on boosting our immune system. So if you have a garden, if you have the opportunity, I know the weather has changed for the better, hence I'm back in a t-shirt and not in 4 hoodies, a blanket, and 15 hats. So again, try and get out into the sun, try and get natural sources of vitamin D. Other things that are very, very important will be magnesium. Okay, is probably considered a master mineral, but I'll return to these things tomorrow about vitamins and minerals and how they can boost your immune system. Okay, anti-inflammatory foods or anti-inflammatory supplements would be very, very good with mental health, because again, inflammation is blockage equals stagnation equals the kind of a block of flow, and it leads to ill health, whether it's kind of like a physical or a mental or emotional level. So kind of anti-inflammatory foods would include turmeric, leafy greens, green tea, saffron to a point, lots of antioxidants like berries and stuff like that, chamomile tea. Okay, foods to avoid, and this is very, very important, because you can take what you want to help yourself, but if you're not removing the stuff that kind of like causes mental health issues and the negatively impacting foods that we consume, yeah, we're going to struggle. Okay, so the number one thing is sugar in all its forms: fructose, inverted syrup, corn syrups, refined sugars, and all that kind of thing. Refined grains, okay, please avoid them. They're nutrient free. Alcohol, and this is coming from an Irish person. Reduce caffeine. Okay, caffeine has its good points. Okay, dairy is a big thing that you have to eliminate. Okay, gluten. Okay, gluten inhibits the serotonin production. Okay, so if serotonin is considered a happy hormone, gluten prohibits the production of it. So avoid gluten, and again, that just comes in reading of labels and packages. Okay. So tomorrow I will return to immune boosting foods and immune boosting properties, and we'll get back on track then. Okay, I hope we're all well and safe, and I hope we're all going to stay safe. We'll talk again tomorrow. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.